Yeah, good evening folks. I'm out here working on the truck again. And in today's video I'm going to be looking at my 3G alternator that is in here. Previously, while working on this truck, trying to get everything dialed in with the new carburetor and everything that we've been installing, I had removed my alternator belt because the one that was on there was just squeaking like crazy. So we cut it, and I actually have new belts on the way. I found one on my shelf that was the same length and put that on there. It's actually from a lawnmower, but it works, and so far it hasn't squealed when I go to start the engine up. But what I noticed is that it was not charging. I had 12.3 volts at the battery while it was running, and usually this alternator puts out about 14.2.6. In this case, it's not doing that. Now, I did run the truck without the belt on, so that was getting power and everything from the ignition and then the key on and whatever else. So, but that was not spinning while it was getting that power, and so now it's it's not charging after the fact. And I think I might have blown out the regulator. I think I have an extra one somewhere. I'm gonna try and find it on my shelf. But what I would like to do is get this alternator out of here, and then at the same time I'm going to be removing this air pump. This is a goner, and yeah, I'm going to start removing all these air pipes because I'm not running any emissions equipment on this other than my PVC and stuff. Oh, I wanted to give you a little update. I got my PVC hooked up. It uses a 3/8 PVC line. I'm just using rubber hose. I'm actually using this fuel injection hose. It's a little bit nicer stuff. But yeah, I got my PVC hooked up, and then I drilled a hole in the breather, or the air cleaner, bottom of the air cleaner, and I just put some 5/8 heater hose over this barbed on the oil fill, and just ran that kind of nice and neat. And so now any fumes and vapors that come out of the engine are being pulled in like normal. So anyways, that's that. I did get all that done, but I want to get this alternator figured out. I really don't want to have to buy another alternator. I'd rather just buy a regulator. This alternator is 130 amp from a 94 Explorer, and it's a really good alternator. It charges really well, and with this on here on this old truck, put all the lights on, it doesn't they're nice and bright, and it doesn't flicker or do anything weird. So yeah, it's been working really well. The wiring on this is pretty simple. I'll probably go do that in another video. Yep, I'm having a lot of fun with this project now. I'm really happy with the way this runs now and starts up and responds to the new carburetor and intake, as well as the ignition. Right now I'm waiting on my parts to come in. I just ordered for making spark plug wires, which we're going to do in a video. I said it was going to be in the next video, but I kind of want to get some more content on this, and I want to, while I'm waiting for parts, fix some other things and bring you along with me. Get that clamp to be off there completely so that we're not being held up. Come on, get off of there. Let's see, should we cut it? There we go. It's kind of dingle-dangling. And then we got our heater hoses kind of in the way. Cool. Junk. Out of here. Yeah, we could mount something here. Some kind of air compressor. You know, if I was making this an off-road rig like the Cummins truck over there, the 82 F-150, I would build a plate here and mount one of those York AC compressors, and then just run it up this belt here. And what's cool about those is because it's an AC compressor, you can throw a clutch, or it'll have a clutch on it. You just throw power to it and you can turn on and have your compressor going while the engine's running. I got the battery disconnected, so we shouldn't get any sparkulators. I think I was wrong on the size. 5/8. Yeah, someone commented, I forgot your name, just suggested you know, throwing exhaust on this, and that is in the plans. I don't know if I'm going to do a true dual exhaust, but I've been looking at a kit on Summit Racing that's actually pretty cheap. It's essentially a catback exhaust, but it has the muffler and the tailpipes are dual. So I think I'm going to do a dual exit out behind the rear tire, just kind of like a factory setup. I got a little spacer nearby, I don't think we'll need it. I'm going to probably leave this pulley on now that I thought about that compressor idea. Okay, welcome to my filthy bench. We're just going to pop this off. I don't know what size this is, but this one seemed to fit. It's probably like a T20, T25. So this is going to kind of spring and sproing. To put it back in, which I'll show you, it will be pretty easy. You take your brushes and you push them back into their holders. And what you'll want to do is maybe even get a screwdriver and push them all the way in. And you're going to put a nail or a pin through here. And once you get this one held, then you can go to the next one, and then when you set this in there, you pull the pin, and then the brushes will load up onto the deal there. So the brushes on this look okay. I don't know what happened to my voltmeter. I think I threw it out because it stopped working. It'd be nice to check and make sure we've got continuity between those connections. So what I did is got this brush in there. We'll take our little needle here. Get that in there. And then we screw her back in. This had some Loctite in it. Hopefully this fixes the problem. I really want to not, like I said, have to buy another alternator. Clink! So this is a Motorcraft regulator, and the one that was on it was an aftermarket one. We might try and pop that thing apart and see if it's not potted all in, so we can see if there's anything broken, any shit stains. Looks like it says 14 volt. I wonder what this one's regulated to. This one's probably going to be, I actually don't know. Okay, let's fire this thing up and see if we got an alternator back. Now, I realize my alternator bracket is actually missing one of those these little roll pin things that when the bolt tightens down, it pushes it against the whatever it's clamping down. My bracket's missing that, so I'm gonna have to I'm probably just gonna steal one from this upper part of the bracket and put it in there. The other thing to note is I'm probably gonna end up having to get a different alternator, or I might even just go to the junkyard and steal a different front case, because this one's modified to fit a 4BT alternator bracket. So I might get a different case for this, and then fix that so it'll actually get clamped down properly and aligned properly. Right now it's just kind of where it's going to be. Cool. Yep, blow that regulator up. We're at 14.9 volts charging. Sweet. Alright, so with all the headlights on, and as you can tell I have halogens still, we're pulling, or running at 14.8 volts. Charging the battery nicely, which of course this is already topped up, so Alternator doesn't have to do anything. If you hear a little rattling noise, it's actually my PCV valve is a little noisy. I've got it plugged into the PCV port that Edelbrock says to use, and it's a little noisy, so I may look at getting a different PCV valve for it. I don't want to run any breathers. I want all that, the fumes and moisture and all that stuff that comes out to be burnt by the engine. And plus I don't want to smell it in the cab. Yeah, well, since I have an alternator now, I think I'm just going to take it around town and just see how it does. I've only got 2 forward gears because the transmission is crapped out a little bit. But I got reverse, I got 2 forward gears. You know, we're just going to putt around town. The reason why I lost 3rd and 4th is because I didn't hook that up. And I towed this thing home when I got it, with the drive shaft still connected. I love this light. Aside from the noisy PCV valve, she's running good. That lawnmower belt's not quite cutting it, but she's doing it. I'm charging at 14.8 volts with the headlights on and the fan. I don't think I'm leaking coolant anymore. I tightened up that clamp, so. Okay, I just took her to the gas station to fill her up, and it did fine. Made it into town, which is not, you know, 3 or 4 miles from the gas station. Drove fine. My steering's a little off, but whatever. I'm not worried about it right yet until we put new stuff in. But it ran great. No dead spots in the throttle. It just kind of cruised down to the gas station. Filled her up. It took about 13 gallons. I had already put about 7 in when we first brought it into the bay. Yeah, so that regulator fixed the problem, so that's good. I've got new belts coming in for this. I'm going to make some modifications in my bracket down there to better hold that alternator, keep it from moving around. So that's what I'm going to do tomorrow. Probably do all that off camera. And then I'm waiting on a carburetor throttle bracket kit for this. We might get into tomorrow if we got time. And then I'm waiting on my spark plug wires and stuff, so. Cool. Anyways, that's running pretty good. She's running at, what are we running at here? I got her set to about 950. Maybe right about 1,000. I think it's more like 950. I like how it sounds right here. Yeah, I gotta see about getting a different PCV valve. Yeah, sounds good. Come here, baby. We're about 180 coming out of the heater hose. about 190. So when that reads 190, this is what the gauge reads with an aftermarket sensor. Apparently they read a little high. That's okay. I'm going to be running putting aftermarket gauges in this. What's the carburetor at? Carburetor's at kind of all over the place, 100 something, which is good. Our intake's hotter, much hotter. Look at this. So that carburetor spacer is doing its job. It's keeping the heat transfer from the intake manifold to the carburetor. So, nice. Yeah, that belt's holding on for dear life. Cool. Alright guys, the next video we're going to do spark plug wires. I promise.